Hello there.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, people who identify as trees, beach balls.
Who do you know that
You know what? There's
identifies as a
someone who
tree?
got. There's like some kind of joke awards that are like a joke of the Nobel Prize awards, and there was this guy who was apparently he made these arm and leg extensions to live life like a goat among goats for a few days, and he won some stupid award for being hilarious, and he accepted it with his goat extensions on. You can look this up on the internet. I don't know what the goat extensions were called. There was something I wanted to mention. Oh, on the subject of lemmings, I actually looked up lemmings because I was like, where are the lemming games at? I couldn't find any on my phone, and they haven't. It's like a dead series, man. They just haven't. There's been no more.
When was the last time they released something? Because I played all the originals. There was loads of them, and they were awesome. I loved them. They would make great phone games, actually.
That's what I thought. I thought, why? How are there no lemming games for phones? But
some guy's sitting on the intellectual property. He's like, no one's having this.
Possibly.
No one's having my intellectual property.
It's pistol time. SHOOWTiME on Pistol Time is looking for Optic players around the fountain area, but he's moving back now along with Yell. Stanislaw over towards B. He's getting flanked by Destiny and by SHZ. It seems they've spotted him. There's a first shot though. PKL going down. Stanislaw can do no more.
He's probably a bit sad. He probably wanted to start off strong with the fragging. Probably wants to top himself from last map. But this should be harder. This should be more difficult for them against Luminosity. They will gain the A bomb site. The bomb will be planted. And the rotation will come in of 2 players. 2 players. Now only 1. And now 0? 0. I'm like the count from Sesame Street. So,
I was really hoping you would not do that.
0.
You know, top himself.
What?
You said Stanislaw wants to top himself.
Yeah.
You know that slang for suicide.
Yeah, I know, but obviously the but the context, James. You know, there's a thing in life called context, right? You can't just take it wildly out of context, like social justice warriors. We have ourselves a force buy on a few players here for Luminosity. A couple are keeping some money in the BANK, of which there is on this map. There is a bank on this map. Over on the A site, in case you're wondering. Can't store your money there, though. I think James is on strike. Who needs him?
You do.
No, I don't.
What do you mean you don't?
I could cast solo, no problem, bro.
Well, I'll go on in.
All right. So then, Optic are waiting to slowly make their way forwards on Monster, waiting for that push, that connection from Rush, and he's going to deliver. Now just 4 players for Luminosity as they've lost the bomb site. Of course, they have very limited utility, well, no utility in fact, 0, and they have no SMGs, no rifles, nothing of consequence. That's a nice little kill there from Stanislaw, quite cheeky on the way forwards. Flank from SHZ is going to pick up a kill for the team, but largely Luminosity will be only happy or only coming off well in this round now if they're able to save this UMP. I mean, with 2 frags, it's not too bad. The UMP could do damage in the next round as well. And you have to credit Optic's anti-force buy strategy too. I mean, it's again, always highlight it. It's something that people might think, why do you highlight it all the time? But it's something that the top teams tend to take for granted in a lot of spots, and they tend to betray the rounds in which they should play those strategies, and they opt for something suboptimal, and then they end up losing too many players, or they end up giving up edges all around entirely. So it's always worth pointing out teams that are cognizant of good strategies, and so that's why we highlight it.
I don't need you either. This is going to be the best anti-eco round of all time. I'm telling you, Markov. Let's go. Luminosity have next to absolutely nothing. They've got 2 flashbangs and diddly squat. Other than that, knives and lint, etc., so on and so forth. 4-man push down the long area. Yell keeping an eye on the connector. He's around the pillar towards the fountain as well. And here come Luminosity. 2 kills for them so far. USP coming in 007 style. Down goes Yell though. Mixwell coming in for the flank with the Mac 10. And AK is being picked up. This is awkward. Tarik stuck with the bomb. The bomb's gone down, Dad. It's SHOOWTiME. He's alone. He's got the AK. He's 1+2. He can do this. He's got no armor, though. Oh, my God. He just goes left, and the guy comes from the right. Close, Dan, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't take it over the line.
Do I talk now, or do you want another round?
Now we can become a unit once again.
Maybe we should make a Twitter poll. I hear those are popular these days. Which solocaster they prefer? But I feel like you made it into a competition only when it was your turn. so I wasn't really going for it. But whatever, whatever, man. Whatever, man.
You know what that makes me, Dan? Smarter than you.
Or maybe it just makes you a dick. I guess one of the two. Maybe a mix.
Perhaps both. Perhaps a combination. Maybe it's like a Power Ranger when the Falcon and the other thing gets together and they make some kind of mega dick sword.
I can't believe you've done this. Why would you?
I'm really hot right now. I'm very hot. SHZ takes down.
From a scale of 1 to Boris to Boris Yeltsin, how drunk are you right now? Are you the full Boris Yeltsin?
I'm so hot right now. Oh my god.
It is rather hot in the studio. The light is beaming upon us. No relief from the hot lights. Not even when we're in game, James. So we'll have to see whether or not Optic can make anything out of this round. They've gone down a man. However, that's not the end of the world, especially on the T side. You've got so many options to play with, especially considering that the CTs naturally take a more passive formation when they've taken an advantage, as they don't want to give it away with any risk. They want to just play from their setups, thinking that perhaps the advantage that they have on the men should be enough with a considered defense from static positions, as we can see on the site right now on both bomb sites. Although Luminosity have the information towards B, and they've got 3 men there already. A much easier site to retake, but will it even need retaking? Luminosity have a great setup. The spray comes in. PKL's on point there, but once again, Stanislaw, ever the annoyance, the nuisance for the Brazilians, as the bomb is planted in just a nick of time. 5 seconds left on that one. And NAF will be the last man standing against 3, 2 of which quite low. And this would really add insult to injury if NAF was able to clutch this. They are scanning, searching for him desperately. 2 weak players lining up into the spray now. It's a 1 versus 1. And SHZ does not have a defuse kit. Oh no, James. Not again. Oh dear.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I don't know how that song goes, but it's not in that tone. I did my best. I'm not a singer. Dan's a karaoke man, not me. Luminosity. We talk about this on this map specifically. You lose a pistol when you're defending, when you're on a CT side. You lose the first buy. You're 4-0 down. That score is in a strong position to keep on tumbling. That said, Luminosity did damage in previous ecos, and that's going to mean the money's all over the place. Mixwell, $150. Tarik is on, sorry, NAF is on $66.50. So the money could be much better for Optic. So this is an important round with which to survive with most of the players intact. 4 players will be good enough for the time being. 5-0 to Optic. LG coming back in for the bye.
So with Optic on the 5-0 and confidently stealing away a lot of rounds from Luminosity on multiple occasions, they are going to have the freedom, or feel the freedom, to do pretty much anything. But the cost of the success should not be sloppiness. In fact, there shouldn't really be much of a cost at all. So let's hope that we don't see any sloppiness. As was alluded to on the desk, that Stanislaw started to potentially abandon some of his positions at the end of the last game to start frag hunting. It's a possibility that that might happen towards the end of the match, but I don't expect Optic to deviate too heavily from their normal playstyle until they get close to the W. Luminosity just holding still at the moment, not deciding to actually go with any aggressive pressure on Optic to try to take down a player early into the round. And their defensive setups towards Toilets and A-Long, which are some of the most creative you could possibly see on Overpass, have been largely given up entirely, allowing Optic space on the map for free. Optic now moving in the blind spots. That are no longer blind spots here, as we have Luminosity expanding their defense into A-Long. I think the gun was just spotted. I think that's a new animation, like pulling out the gun as well, or relatively new, as Rush is going to be able to take down the trade fragger as well. SHZ is gone, 3 versus 5, and Luminosity are in trouble.
Destiny's position is strong. Around the smoke, the push finally coming in from Optic, not the spray down though, Mixwell to trade very fast with the AWP. Two CTs remain. SHOOWTiME getting tagged. The bomb can't go down just yet. More trades coming in. PKL in a 1 versus 2 situation. They have no idea where he is. There are smokes down on the site. They have to use one to plant the bomb. Nafly checking his 6. Is PKL detected? He must be by now. Shoulder picking and the spray down will come in, but can he get past Tarik? He's got barely any health, PKL. You see Tarik over towards the long position. That yellow outline. PKL. Got to check the deep corners. That's the problem. Where the CT was standing before, it's a very strong corner. Checking that exposes him to the other side, and he will indeed be taken down. Now, that position by the wall is strong because when you do a smoke execute onto A, you have to land it on the truck, because if you land it in front of the truck, you can stand on the truck and see over the smoke, and then it becomes very powerful in favor of your opponent. So there's always that very tight 90-degree angle which favors the CTs. What doesn't favor the CTs is having no money and an angry Optic side charging towards your B site.
Yeah, we've got the Deagle for PKL in decent position. I mean, this is a great position oftentimes. And there you go, knocking one down, but that's going to be it. SHZ capitalizing in the back there, just the opportune moment. But in the end, Optic will win the bomb sites, and their weapon superiority is going to be too much to overcome, really, I would say, as indeed stanislaw closes down the round with the last 2 frags. And 7-0 is the scoreline. A one-sided affair between Optic and Luminosity overall. And Luminosity struggling to get too much done. And it is definitely a learning experience for them. And they are playing one of the better teams, I would say, in the North American portion of the ECS Season 2.
Optic enjoying the spoils of victory, but they're up against 2 rifles. Optic starting to increase the cash, rush down to 3K, but there's progress in the T economy. Again, it's 7-0 for the time being, but there is room for recovery for LG. Easier said than done, however. Tarik on the high ground towards next, not spotting anything. SHOOWTiME has PKL holding his angle, but SHOOWTiME's got to back off because he's in front of PKL. So he's holding a much tighter angle than he would like into the short B tunnel. Either way, they will hold. And Optic don't have... I mean, they had Nafly very, very passive. Basically, T-spawn, almost. That was his approach to B, in case of any pushes, wanting to stay out of the angles of these AWPs. So now there's a lack of presence towards B. Naf grabbing Mixwell's favorite toy. And the approach will be A, but again, LG, oh dear. That is an unexpected snipe.
Yeah, that's really nice, and that is going to be annoying for LG. It's hard for them to understand where to rotate at this point as well, because 30 seconds to go. They haven't spotted any true intention just yet, although the bomb is making its way back towards A. stanislaw is up close there behind the smoke. A is definitely more favorable if you can get the bomb planted, and stanislaw's in there, takes the first engagement, looks for the second man there with the help of his teammates, and it will be Tarik instead who grabs to kill the bomb, gets the plant in the nick of time there with 7 seconds remaining.
Oh!
And PKL comes in just a little bit too late to stop the bomb from going down, which would have won the round, I think, as there was only 7 seconds to plant it.
He was tapping away, but just didn't get the fatal connection in time, and now they find themselves in a 2 versus 1. SHOOWTiME getting a big frag onto stanislaw, a thorn in the side to say the least, more of a spear, more of a javelin than a thorn for the LG side, looking for their first round. Nafly with a lovely angle, doesn't hit a second shot. PKL finishes him off, doesn't have a kit, but is there one around the bomb? Oh, what is he doing?
He doesn't have time.
He didn't have time anyway, yeah.
Gets the AWP, gets out of there. Will survive. But he will survive in a shamed manner. No kit to defuse the bomb, unfortunate there for Luminosity. Another chance that's marginal chance that's been lost, unfortunately. Sometimes that's how it goes, especially if your economy sucks. You are in some of those positions sometimes where you just don't have the kit, and in the rounds you need it. And Luminosity, you can see the stretch of their economy reflected in the choice of guns. We've got 2 UMPs out now for them. And in comes Optic all the way along, and Destiny hears everything. He hears all of the stepping, all of the pitter-patter of the angry Optic players charging up the A-long area.
PKL is rotating, as is YEL. Stanislaw still around the fountain area, taking out SHZ. There goes PKL as well. Numbers disappearing one by one, leaving SHOOWTiME alone. SHOOWTiME. 1 versus 4. It's a 9-0 for Optic. A solid 9-0, a sweet 9-0. Are they able to keep a clean sheet? Perhaps that becomes the question. PKL calling the pause. One would assume it's a tactical one. It is 0-9 on the CT side of Overpass. That is not something you see every day. Not a single round. YEL's only got 2 kills on him at the moment. Stanislaw, Tarik and NAF racing to the top of the scoreboard. What is the answer for LG in this situation? Is there an answer?
Time machine to in a year's time when they are much improved. It's not a very realistic answer, but the issue is that they are getting outskilled. This is just a common problem you can have. It doesn't matter how good your strategies and tactics are. You have to have the elements of individual skill that match up, or that are even just a little bit, just a tiny bit less at least than your opponent, for the strategy and tactics to actually work. If they are better calls or better options to deal with your opponents than what your opponents are able to make happen against you. If you can't hit those shots and they just shoot you in the face all the time, then it doesn't matter if you've got the best tactics in the world. It does not matter. And so far it does appear that Optic are a tier above an individual skill, or a couple tiers above, and that seems to be the problem for Luminosity, I would say. Train, I think, was a good example of that. Whenever you see a guy like Stanislaw just running around, and he's looking like he's Olofmeister in Olofmeister's prime, running around on Train, then obviously there's a mismatch there, to an extent, on the skill, I would say. Because Stanislaw cannot do that against SK, for example. He cannot do that against, Liquid and so on. Maybe not, at least.
Now fly over towards B, and mixwell is charging through the connector area. Again, that fast smoke, and he's looking for the boost. It's very interesting. He has no support for people emerging from the lower area, so very confident that he won't be peaked, eventually moving back towards connector. And PKL may be going for some jumping peaks soon enough. In fact, well, it is a round where Luminosity don't have a full buy. They're stacking the numbers towards B, hedging their bets. NAF going passive once again, super passive. So I like the discipline, despite the fact it's a 9-0. They're not going to get sloppy, which can be a common occurrence. At least in the past, North America, we do appear to be seeing a new North American region for CS at the moment. Refreshed, improved, and far more dangerous.
Much more stable. For me, the stability is such a big deal. 4 to 5 months ago, it was very unstable. Ooh, like ships in the night.
Only good for 1 kill though, and the bomb site's in control of Optic. Destiny looking for the flank. Rest of the team coming in from CT. Smoke will not be favourable for Luminosity as they try to come back into this site. Destiny goes down on the flank, leaving YEL alone in CT area, the stairs. By the trash cans, by the graffiti. There's a gun to be stolen, to be taken away. He needs go. Holding his ground for the time being. Indeed, the hunt is already on.
I don't think we've seen a 16-0 yet in the league. It's ECS Season 2. I don't think we've seen it yet.
I've seen it at E-League twice, I want to say, but I don't think we saw it last season.
Well, this season we definitely haven't seen it. So I wonder if Optic will be able to claim that. I mean, they're 10-0 right now. There aren't any, or there's not many bright spots that have appeared for LG so far. Some mistakes that Optic have made, it's harder for Luminosity to punish them, and it's easier for Optic to save themselves with the skill disparity. Bit of aggression here from YEL. Let's see if he can get something done with the AWP. Looks like he can't get a shot off. A good flash in return from Optic to make the approach safe from the aggression of Luminosity. And it's these diligent pop flashes and understandings of how the timings work on the map that Optic have been fairly on top of so far to eliminate some of the easier opportunities for Luminosity to get early advantages.
the rattle of the AWP. Luminosity, patient at the moment. Monster being smoked. SHZ in a forward position. It's interesting, they always have an inverse of an old Luminosity setup towards the toilet area, where this position might be, well, no time for that now. YEL picking off Tarik. So it's a similar, but not the same, I'd say. Unless I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, it's 5 versus 3. LG look good for their first round on the board. Can mixwell be traded? He cannot. SHZ not up for the challenge there. Mixwell just too good with the big green gun. Meanwhile, we've got players moving into Monster. Both CTs on a low ground. One in the water, that's PKL. Now his teammate will join him. More grenades coming in from the CT side. Smoke plant. Flank possible for Destiny. SHOOWTiME goes down, and there goes PKL. Destiny, last man standing. NAF is flanking the flank, but Destiny's waiting for it. Can't get the fatal kill, though. Gets a headshot, leaves NAF on 10 HP, and that's enough for him to get the frag.
And one thing it does highlight a little bit as well is that when you see, when you see Optic playing against another team, and you see how close the individual skill becomes, then the strategy and tactics get highlighted a lot more as the more deciding factors of the matchup. And you also get to realize from watching this just how good Stanislaw is individually, for example, just one of the players. I'm going to have to hold this spot right now. We do have a quick push coming in onto the B-bomb site. And Luminosity actually getting those entry or defensive kills. And there's almost no entry frags from Optic, just one from Stanislaw. He's the last man standing. He's going to have to ace. He wants to save this one. Tries to transfer the spray, but welcome to the scoreboard, Luminosity. They get one on the board, but there's a lot of money for Optic, and there's not many rounds left in the half.
The dream appears to be dead, then, as Luminosity have a round on the board. And now a new dream rises, the dream of a recovery. 4 rounds possible for the CT side in this half. We shall soon see how far they are able to get. Rush moving into short B. YEL looking over towards the fountain area, looking for a player to emerge. The flashbang, though, will stop him. Oh, he's looking away. Tarik through the smoke will take him down. Very cheeky indeed.
Oh, and Tarik actually... Oh, will he spot it in time? No, just spinning around there, unawares as to Destiny's position. And we get some better... Oh, we had a retake there from Luminosity towards sewers, where they were able to flash in, I imagine, and get the frags. But once again, Stanislaw's left, Mixwell's left. 2 of the dangerous players on Optic. Especially Stanislaw today. And Mixwell, of course, the star. He's got himself the AWP. The bomb is down. There's something that they might want to kind of start on in this mission to recover this round, is to recover the bomb. And I think that's what Stanislaw's going to do now. It's like, well, let's just go get the bomb at least. And Mixwell's all the way on the other side of the map, so it's hard for them to combine and create an opportunity here. They may opt to do it alone.
I imagine Stanislaw's going to be meeting Mixwell. He can try to go towards toilets, but that would be a risk. PKL is... Oh, he's on a low ground, actually, so I don't think he'll get any sound cues in that situation. SHOOWTiME peeking. Not sure if Mixwell spotted something there. There's a shoulder, and there is a shot in the face. Down goes Destiny, 2 versus 2. PKL rotating on the low ground. Mixwell is in position to try and cover as Stanislaw plants. Can Stanislaw get off the site, though? Round of smoke. SHOOWTiME's close to the site. Mixwell in for support.
And it's fine that Stanislaw's here on the site itself. Tries to take the challenge there, doesn't win the 1 versus 1. Even this 1 versus 2 here, it's very favorable for Mixwell, especially because he's got an AWP. Is there any smokes? There's no smokes here for the CT, so they're going to have a really hard time with this. There's the initial attempt for the defuse. There is a kid, actually. Nicely done by PKL, finding the frag onto Mixwell. And imagine if Mixwell had peeked from the left angle. The closer one, PKL cannot get that return frag, I don't think, from that position. And the round will probably be won by Mixwell. But they put number 2 on the board, and Optic still have money. They still have money.
Yeah, but Luminosity don't necessarily. Well, both players with teams with struggles, in fact. Stanislaw and SHZ will have the secondary rifle options. Famas and the Galil coming out. You can see this round will have a significant impact into the next and final round. But you see all those rounds in a row. 11 rounds in a row for Optic, but those times are over now. It's Luminosity with momentum. Flashbangs, but kills for Tarik. He's on fire though. That's half his health gone.
Yeah, wasn't sure whether to push through the Molotov or go back, and the indecisions left him on 18 health. I guess also it's hard to predict whether Molotovs will spread as well. That's also a big deal. But White Yellow holding the angle there on the toilets. Ooh, PKL again comes in, defends the sewers position, and that was a really important defense because Optic wanted to give themselves much more in the way of options by taking over sewers. Had that gone the other way, it's very certainly an Optic round, but PKL posts a very strong defense. NAF now is the healthiest player. He has to make the individual play here to get Optic back into the round. He's looking for the quick entry, but there is none to be made just yet. And this is smart actually from the CTs. It's probably better in this instance to let the Ts plant and know where both players are as opposed to trying to get the 1 versus 1s at this point. And they hear the bomb get planted, they move forwards, and they do not spot, well, it doesn't matter if they spot NAF's position because he goes down anyway. Tarik's only on 18 health still after that Molotov earlier.
This won't be easy, and if he peeks to his right, there's a reasonable chance he'll get shot from the upper area. If he peeks to lower, if he peeks to, and vice versa. But it will be PKL to take him down. He did the best he could, but he will fall to the hail of bullets from the Brazilian side, Luminosity. Another round in the bag for them. 4 rounds on the CT side, which is the most they can achieve in this situation. Would still totally suck, but it gives them a chance.
Yeah, as long as you have more than 2, if that allows you, if you lose the pistol round, to still have a buy. But if you have only 2 rounds, you lose pistol round, you basically are force buying immediately. So that's something. That is something, I guess. We'll see if they can get another one. The buy is really strong for Luminosity, of course. Double AWP. Optic, it's not generally a great idea for them to just rush into B because you don't have to play the variance game. You don't have to play the rush game against Luminosity. When you can outplay them on the picks, you can outplay them in many other ways in the round by trying to get one-on-ones. If you rush into the bomb site, you never know what can happen, and that is actually exactly what started Luminosity winning some rounds. Is Optic playing a super fast B round, and you're always going to have a chance in some cases as the CTs to get those frags. And here we go, Optic not with a trade setup there into long, just a flash out, and nothing for Optic. They're in desperate times in this round, rushing onto the site. There's Luminosity players all over the place, but the Tech 9 in hand is going to do some damage here.
Nafly taking down one flanker on long, but there is another one to be found, trying to jump up, and he may miss some opportunities. Stanislaw doing some work, and now it's 2 versus 2. Players moving in from CT side, but there goes Stanislaw. Nafly moving over towards the toilet. Spots one player, but the trade will come in. Both players picking almost at the same time. Plant for Optimus, and indeed, Luminosity will get their 4th round on the board. I mean, say they win the pistol, all of a sudden the game becomes close. Let's not forget, this one is the pick. This map is the pick of Luminosity. Perhaps their T side stronger than their CT side. We're about to find out.
Yeah, you never want to write them off. I still feel like it's very unlikely we'll see much from them here, but let's see if they can prove me otherwise. And how are the pistol buys going to go here? So for Optic, they decide to just get all the Kevlars, no kit, no grenades at all, which means that they are just there to fight. They want the fights, and Luminosity will rush into B. Seemingly they have a smoke and a flash, and that's it. Everyone else has Kevlar, so everyone here wants to just fight, and NAF will be the first to draw blood.
I do wonder if the CT spotted something there, moving into short B, 2-man push, and they are not going to allow LG to dictate the pace, bringing the fight to them. Now it's SHZ alone with less than half his HP. So far, so good. Rush going down, but 12 HP now. He needs headshots. They're close enough, but there are just too many. It's an insurmountable task. That was a crucial round for Luminosity to win. They didn't do it. They didn't get a plant either. Does that mean a force buy? Do they have a plan for the force buy? The force buy coming in.
Yeah, you'd hope that as it is their map that they would have this round. I mean, this round is, when I say that, I mean, if you lose the pistol round on the T side, as James mentioned, or even if you get the bomb down, having the second round set piece with grenades is really important actually, because it can either get you some extra kills or some more economy, or it can be a bit surprising. You know, you can actually do stuff with that. It's a round where you can have the plan can be completely dictated upon what you want to do, and so you can drill it, you can routine it. It can be quite solid in that sense. But LG, they're just waiting around at the moment towards the long area, looking to slowly push that. And ooh, wow, Destiny finding Stanislaw for free by the door, by the squeaky door.
Early disadvantage.
And they creep up long, and there's nobody checking it just yet. So it'll be interesting to see how close they can get, because Tech9s aren't dangerous until they are within spitting distance, and then they are incredibly dangerous.
I don't think NAF is spotting them jumping over the flower bed. And I think he missed them all again. That's absolutely crazy. They're going to be super close, and he's got his knife out, Dan. This spells trouble. Hello. Oh, too late to get the weapon out now. NAF wondering how on earth that happened. That's going to leave Optic out of position, to say the least, including there's a flank from Destiny. Now they've got 2 MP9s, the T side, so not over just yet. They've gone for the bomb plot, though, towards Bank, but there's somebody in Bank. Now Mixwell, last man standing, 48 HP, but the USP won't be enough.
And okay, one thing that a lot of teams do on their CT anti-eco is, because there is sitting back and waiting, and there is starting the round out in a forward position and using the architecture of the map to get the information and then fall back, constantly fall back. But you force the Ts to push you back in that sense, so you can at least have the information. And many teams do that because, again, the mid-ranges, the Tech9's not going to be too horrendously dangerous. But Optic decided to sit on the site, and they were blind. They were very blind as to what was happening in that round. Can Tarik do it? Can no-shirt Tarik do it?
It appears he can, with some support from NAF. That's a good start. He knows better than to try and steal the gun, as the gun will be protected by PKL for the time being. Angles being held. 3 players for Luminosity. There was a candle, Dan, a candle of hope. It is blowing in the wind. It's not out yet, though.
This is the classic force buy battle. Well, both teams will keep force buying until one team can string 2 rounds, or string rounds together, get 2 in a row. That is what we have at hand at the moment. And Optic, they have 3 players left alive. Stanislaw, he will sneakily take down Destiny, and that is a lot of information for the team as well. So I'm curious, really, how this round's going to go now, because that AK on Stanislaw is going to be very dangerous, and he's got a forward position to try to catch rotation should it make its way around towards B. And he can also see down into sewers, and there he spots the rotation. Optic can rotate preemptively.
Hello. The timing is real. Nice headshot there on Stanislaw. SHOOWTiME has got a bomb down. Oh, the spray! He's forced him. He's got 3 HP, Dan. I mean, he needs the fight of his life. Not on this occasion. Luminosity chances have come and gone. They won the force buy, and then they lost the force buy. 13 rounds for Optic.
Yeah, so that is painful. And Luminosity, at least they got the bomb down, but they will have to force buy in this position. You can't really save. One of the reasons is just due to the fact that you can, the round is worth 2 essentially, or maybe more, as if you win, it can cripple your opponent's economy, and they're already down so many rounds that they have to start. They can't concede more rounds at this point. You just have to throw everything in there continually until you win or you lose. That is the position that LG, the Luminosity, are currently in, and Optic are very happy with that, I should think. They got a couple AKs in there, salvaged from the previous round.
Optic waiting. PKL just peppering in case somebody is behind the smoke. The AWP is on Yell. No AWP on Optic. Otherwise, he probably would have been shot from that position. Mixwell still picking AWP angles, trying to get the cheeky taps in. Got to be careful though, 17 HP. Get out of there, and indeed he will. Yell gonna leg him. Meanwhile, Destiny goes down towards Connector. 3 players high, 1 player in the connector. That's SHOOWTiME now. But the bomb's left far behind, so at some point, one of these Ts will be forced to rotate and collect. Optic moving back to the sites now. playing the ranges. Stanislaw over towards Monster, just facing the wall in case any flashes come in, as there is a smoke down in that position. Smart stuff from him. PKL's picks up the bomb. Remainder of LG around the toilet area, moving towards the A side. But what lies in wait for the Brazilian side?
Hopefully it's not pain and discomfort. We'll have to find out as they move forwards. Well, that is quite promising. For Luminosity, first kills made. There is no pain and no discomfort. Optic are coming in for the retake now. And there's a bunch of grenades here to help. NAF is going to probably be forced back. The spread of the Molotov is problematic. He gets the kill on PKL though. So this is going to definitely encourage the remainder of Optic to go in for the finishing blows here, of which there should be many because there's so many players here. Optic 2 players left now against the 2 of Luminosity, and they have that wild card in their hands, which is, well, he's dead now. He's dead, very dead now. It was the AWP at long range by Toilets, and NAF clutches the round. 3 kills there, and that kill on to the AWP, I think it was yelled out at the Toilets position. That was incredibly decisive. This kill right there, boom. That is really nice. Because that's the guy that wins the round when everything goes wrong.
Luminosity on what could be their last full buy. They are 9 rounds behind. We've seen recoveries. We saw some yesterday. But will we see one today? 3 FAMASs coming out for the Optic team. They didn't really have the money to do better than that. Spray through the smoke will not achieve anything, but Tarik with a sneaky position. Bait and switch, perhaps. 2 men down for the one of the CT side, but again, it cripples what LG can do, what LG can suggest with the utility they have on these players. PKL close to the bomb. Stanislaw deep into short B. And mixwell's playing inside the site, watching Monster. They will just wait for Luminosity. They have some nice positioning. 4-man setup across both sites. Meanwhile, Luminosity have lots of information to find. But again, Optic just biding their time. Some harassment towards Mixwell. Stanislaw, though, ready and waiting, but now he's got to be careful because the squeaky door is open, so he doesn't know what lies behind him.
Let's just say as well, Mixwell can rotate because they have sewers, and so that player on sewers, after the quick presence there, they know it's going to be A now. Optic very responsible in taking information in a forward manner, being able to predict Luminosity. Nice turn around from PKL to pick up that frag, but it's all going to be done in the end. And again, you've got to praise Optic. It was actually quite a smart move from Luminosity because they, I can't remember which player it was, but one of the players from Luminosity, they started making a lot of noise and started firing off in the sewers area through the panels and everything like that, trying to harass, create presence. And Optic very quickly moved into that area, and they had a guy in sewers nearby who got all the information, and then they instantly knew when they weren't supposed to that the A play was coming, which basically seals the deal. The last-ditch attempt, the Tech 9s, Tarik in exactly the same position as last round, and not going to work twice in a row, my friend.
That is well cheeky. That is well cheeky. Optic have the round to play with, though. Mixwell delivers 1, but his team are at an advantage. 2 swift kills for the CT side. Yell around the long area, but how far is he willing to commit? Mixwell's going to be looking over there soon enough. 1 rifle on these 3 Luminosity players. Situation is dire. That is a great boost, though. Lovely bounce. Put LG back into things, but then again, taken away. And the bomb spotted this time. Means all the CTs will be waiting. Rush looking to clean up the rest of the round. Rest of the round being SHOOWTiME, but headshot from Tech 9. Close, but he can't do it. Optic will overcome and overwhelm.
Yeah, another very similar map to Train in many respects. I mean, it did look more competitive. It looks more like they had, after, what was it, 10? I think they got to 11-1, I think it was, when they got their first round. So, I mean, when they started getting rounds, it looked a little bit more competitive. But generally speaking, I think they're just outskilled. Just even if you just ignore strategy and tactics and everything else, outskilled. Optic played a pretty good game behind that too, so it's just too much for them to deal with in this instance.
Right then, break time. See you back at the desk with Halvor and Dustin.